All right, greetings. Welcome back to Blackbird News, where everything is connected. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Sorry about the abrupt time change this morning. I know we're an hour earlier. I just had to move some things around today for my day. And so we're doing the show an hour earlier. So some of you might be catching up with this a little bit later. I apologize. Maybe some of you all will get the notice that I'm on now. But yeah, we're here. And good to see you. And happy New Year's Eve. It is New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2024. And I don't know. It's been a year. It's been a very strange, very quick year. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know. I showed some of the wave videos yesterday, and I'm not sure what the time frame of when these videos are actually happening. I assume they happen in the last couple of days. Who is in the fog? Well, as soon as I kind of saw those fog videos yesterday before the show, and as soon as I ended the show, a viewer shortly after the show, a viewer hit me up and asked if I had seen the fog videos. And then I ended up just kind of every conversation I had yesterday was about the fog videos. I don't know. You guys have any ideas? I don't know. I honestly, my gut instinct, my first reaction, is that it's a psyop. I know people are showing videos and there's really fog happening where they're at, and maybe that's all real. I don't know. I don't know if the videos themselves are the psyop or the fog is a psyop. But much like the drone thing, which now all of a sudden is gone, the whole drone story is gone. It seems like, right? Everybody forgot about the drones. I feel like we're in the middle of like wave after wave of psyop going on. And maybe they're pushing things out to see what people's reaction will. Like, I think the Luigi story is a psyop. I think the drone story is a psyop. Possibly this fog thing is a psyop. Just pushing things out there to get people riled up. But who knows? All right, real quick, we'll start with this one more wave video from Chile. I've seen some fog. All right, we'll watch this first. And then we'll talk about the fog. Can we get some sound on it? Sound? Come on now. Obviously, this is a massive. That's a massive quote. Okay, that's pretty wild. Yeah, the flu, the bird flu, the new pandemic, that's a psyop. The Trump campaign is a psyop. The Trump campaign was a psyop. The Elon Musk buying Twitter and getting behind Trump, and Elon Musk, everybody, the new alternative media is a psyop. People are getting COVID there again, Judy. Okay. Yeah, I've been seeing some posts about like COVID is on the rise. Who knows? If you don't test for COVID, it ain't COVID. It's just the flu. I mean, I don't trust those COVID tests. It's been proven that those COVID tests were oftentimes wrong. And, whatever they're calling COVID, I don't know. It's COVID if you want it to be COVID, I guess. Was the Twitter files was actually like a year or two ago, but that was another kind of a revelation of the method. I guess that's the new psyop is Revelation. we're in the part of the book called Revelation. Or Revelations if you're talking about the Bible. Where people are telling the truth, but the purpose of telling you the truth is to get you into another lie, I guess. Yeah, I would say the entire Trump campaign was a big fat psyop, including the fake assassination attempt. Anyways, let's look at a couple of these fog posts, and if anybody has any ideas, I haven't seen anybody put forward any kind of ideas about what it might be, or I think, we'll look at this first. Florida, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, California, Texas, and basically all over the country, also in Europe, they're experiencing this as well. Are reporting the same thick particle fog. They say it's making them feel sick, smells like chemicals, and is not normal. What are the odds this exact same looking stuff is everywhere? Huh? Okay, this video doesn't mean anything. I'm assuming it's like snow to me. It's just somebody throwing the light. That video doesn't mean anything to me. So somebody's doing this. This is somebody like in their garage, so not hard to create that mist. This video, not very convincing. Sorry. I'm not convinced by that video. This again, I don't know. Yes, this is.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Again, these are just, I don't know. I would say these videos all align with psyop type stuff, because it's like the drone videos, or people are seeing orbs, or you just don't know what you're looking at, right? Easily manipulated, easily faked. There's lots of these things that are all over the place. But, plus we have AI video now, so a lot of things can be created that are not real. Anyways, this fog does not look like fog. 6:30 a.m. Florida. Again, more particles. Maybe. I want to know, is anybody else seeing something that looks like this? Anybody in the chats? Is anybody else? Because it's been foggy here a couple days, but it's like fog. It's like regular fog. Fog comes in the morning, it burns off, by the afternoon. It's fog, at least where I'm at. So I'm not seeing anything really super strange. If somebody else has some personal eyewitness type experience with any of this that people are claiming that they're seeing, it does seem to be a phenomenon. Again, I feel like this is it's almost like the Macarena, right? Like people do that on Twitter. They start making these videos, you start seeing these videos and they become kind of like a thing, like a viral thing. And all of a sudden it's a thing that everybody's talking about, and might actually not be a thing. But again, reports from around the globe are surfacing of mysterious illnesses linked to encounters with so-called chemical fogs. I will stop and say, everybody I know has whatever, there's some flu going around that seems to be very respiratory centered. And people are experiencing really harsh symptoms, being down for a week or several days with the flu. Almost everybody I know has had it, or is talking about it, or has gotten it. There is something definitely going around, so I don't know. Mysterious illnesses linked to encounters with so-called chemical fogs, described as thick, lingering blanket. The fog has left people sick, many experiencing sudden cold or flu-like symptoms after only brief exposure. Dubbed FogVid-24, some victims have also reported an unexplained loss of energy.
Looks like it's conclusive. FogVid-24 is a real thing. The previous video is going viral. If you go and read the comment section, everybody's saying they were completely fine. They didn't feel anything coming on. But then as soon as they went out in this fog, whatever it is, they got a sore throat. They had to go to bed. They couldn't sleep. They were bunged up. They had migraines. They lost all their energy. And not only them, everyone in the household. There's mums reporting on it saying all the kids are ill. We've got people in Kentucky. We've got people in Sweden. We've got people in Finland, all reporting the same thing. The fog has made them sick. And you know, it's scenarios like this that always have an adverse effect. Whatever they're doing in the skies, whatever they're spraying, whatever this fog is, they're obviously doing it for a reason, but it is going to wake people up. People have had enough. They're sick of being poked. They're sick of being prodded. They're sick of poison in the air and poison in the food, poison in the milk, poison in the minds. We're being pummeled in more ways we can imagine to demoralize us over a period of time.
Okay.
Looks like it's conclusive. FogVid-20.
What's conclusive?
Right.
Nothing is
So
conclusive,
it's
really.
crazy foggy right now.
I think this guy is in Florida, and I've
But
seen a
that's
couple
not
of
the
videos
weird
from him.
part. Okay. Like, number one, it's weird because as it gets later in the day, fog should lighten, dissipate. And it's really not. But the weirdest part is the taste and smell. It smells like after you set off a bunch of fireworks. And like the taste of the air is, I mean, the only word I can think of is toxic. It's super weird. And so I'm going for my walk and it's kind of worrying me a little bit. Let me know if you guys are experiencing.
Okay. I don't know. We'll see what comes of this. Nobody seems to have any explanations. And I feel like it's, again, every once in a while, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's drones or weird lights or weird sounds in the sky, or, you know, every once in a while there's a bunch of videos that come out talking, you know, kind of hyping like this particular thing up. What was it last year? It was aliens in Las Vegas, right? Or aliens in Miami. Remember? There was aliens. There was one around aliens in Miami, and there were a couple of videos, and people were suddenly like hyping this whole thing that turned out, you know, obviously to be whatever. So I kind of think this whole thing is like somebody posted a video and everybody decided to jump on it, and it just became like a kind of a hipster content thing. And this is kind of what happens is you have these semi-viral moments of a news story that just seems a little bit strange or weird, and everybody starts trying to cover it because you can get clicks off of it. Anyways, this is the same guy, I think, or maybe it's different.
Okay, I'm going to show you this fog. You can't even see past. And I'm out here and I can feel it on me. Like,
I think that's called fog, bro.
It has been every day, all day. And here's the thing. It's like a film.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, is anybody out there experiencing any of this stuff? I kind of just think this is a bunch of bullshit, personally, but I could be wrong. Down to be proven wrong. Denver, you experienced something like that in 2017, 2018 when you were camping? 60 degrees, huh? Well, get ready for that cold snaps. But 60 degrees sounds downright balmy. I mean, I think we're at like 60 degrees. We're 61. So it was colder during the fog. Okay. I mean, I think that's just generally people's experience. Anyways, I don't know. It seems to be a moment. Again, I've, seen some fog in the last couple of days, it acts just like regular ass fog. This is not necessarily a thing unless it becomes something else. So I'm not going to spend too much more time on it, but this is the last thing I'll play, which is Assange talking about intelligent, evil dust being scattered around everywhere and everything like confetti.
In terms of Internet of Things, there's research prototypes now, which I assume are being used by intelligence agencies, of very small electronic circuits that you can just put in paper or put and paint or on the walls that are powered by the GSM stations. And they operate as the GSM radio wave passes through them. It gives them enough power for a very small amount of time to do things. So obviously that tendency is going to continue. It's not like the Internet of Things. It's if you like, intelligent evil dust scattered everywhere, like confetti in everything. So I think it's increasingly hard for human beings to work out how to deal with that. In terms of Internet of Things, there's research.
All right. Well, he's talking about something that does actually exist, which is like nano dust or nanoparticles, which are very small particles that can be programmed and or controlled via electronics or radio impulses or whatever. Which is kind of something people were talking about in the beginning of COVID when there was a lot of, they were rolling out 5G towers and people were trying to link the 5G towers to COVID. Remember that? And whether or not you think there's a direct causal link between of that episode of 5G towers rollouts and interaction with smart dust or microbes or whatever. That looks like I don't know if that's a recent Assange, not sure. Even though, that link might be, depending on your point of view, flimsy or not flimsy, but like, the technology does exist out there, and I'm sure, obviously remember the maxim that whatever they're showing you as far as the advancement of technology, how, wherever we're at right now in the retail sector, the public facing sector, like they have stuff that's, years and years ahead. They're already working on stuff that's, I'm convinced to, that they can triangulate your position in your house through Wi-Fi. They have the technology to kind of like monitor your heart rate and monitor your vitals through Wi-Fi. Like they can do that. That is absolutely a thing that they can do and are trying to, advance into even more intrusive surveillance qualities with the technology that we have now, right? So, and if you can do it through Wi-Fi, why couldn't you do it through cellular? I mean, I know that cellular is more widespread than, Wi-Fi is is definitely more local, but cellular through your phone, I don't know, why not? So they can they can track your vitals. They can keep, they can keep, store, and surveil very, lots of personal information about you, lots of data about you. And if they want to get more granular, they can do it. They can, through machine learning and AI and all that kind of stuff, they can be very predictive about your behaviors. That's been shown to be possible. could they possibly eventually read your thoughts? It wouldn't surprise me that they're working on. If they can't do that right now, they're working on it. No, that's crazy. No, why not? Why not? The CIA had a whole, department studying, ESP and, moving things or bending things with your mind and controlling things with your mind. They're very into these kind of powers. So, if they're interested in learning about how to use that and or control that or manipulate that, why wouldn't they try to manipulate technology to read your mind? I wouldn't, that's not even far-fetched. I feel like that would just be like, duh. We totally want to do that. Happy New Year to the people in the Rockfin chat. What's up? AOD, old as dirt. AOD, OAD. Denver people, Swami. Oh, Swami. Where art thou? Pigeon Network 2025. Yeah. It's an interesting road to go down. It's hard for me to believe in things that I can't personally touch or personally quantify the data for, if I can't see enough data on it. Going back to the fog, I have a hard time not thinking the fog thing is a psyop. Who are the brain police? Yes. Deeb says maybe that's how YouTube keeps throwing up poignant topics that were privately discussed the day before whilst walking in a wood with a friend. Oh, yeah. Well, they definitely can hear. They're definitely taking in what you're saying and feeding it back to you. For sure. As far as things that has anybody experienced thinking something and then seeing it on the internet? Have y'all ever had that happen? I feel like that's happened once or twice where I was just thinking something. I did not say it out loud and I opened up my phone and there it was. And I was like, ooh, I'm just going to call that a coincidence, but damn. Let's keep going because, man, we're just going slow. Speaking of drones, we weren't really speaking of drones, but yeah, I don't know if the fog thing is. I would like to get. I need a wider sample. I need a wider sample for the. I need some other. I need some different. Just more than just people making weird videos on Twitter. That's just not enough for me to really go oh, it must be a thing. Even the drone thing, I was like, oh, the drone thing got beyond Twitter and got into the mainstream media, and officials were even talking about it. So it kind of gave it more weight, solidity. This is somebody on TikTok. Drones, why do they have a staging area on the back of this pickup? Why does he have what looks like to me an anti-radiation suit on? Who does this operator work for? This is a weird video. This one I thought was interesting. So it's a big ass drone. These are big ass drones on top of a vehicle that doesn't have any markings necessarily. This guy looks like he is in a radiation suit, or at least one of those overalls. Anyways, is the drone landing on a truck? And these are pretty large sized drones with what looks like not police lights. I guess they'd just be like airplane lights. I mean, this is interesting, right? Looks pretty legit, this footage. Somebody taking in a drone, one of these very large drones. I don't know where this is at. And then you see another one taking off over here. So government operation, police operation. That's kind of what it looks like. We already know that we have, the drones have been confirmed, at least the ones that people can see that look like that, confirmed to have military applications. And I think they're just getting people ready for the idea that there's just going to be drones constantly. Like you're aware of and accepting helicopters, flying around all the time. It's, especially in certain areas, but in LA, we got a name for them. So why not get people ready to used to the idea, ready for the idea that there's going to be constant, you're just going to look up and there's going to be a police drone in your backyard or whatever. Because man, how expensive is it to keep those helicopters up in the sky all the time? It's got to be way cheaper to put a drone up. And they're not manned. So you can just put a bunch of drones up, have somebody in a central facility watching several screens. They just they're getting you ready for that new norm. No, it doesn't explain the glowing orb ones, Judy. No. And I don't know what those are. I have no idea. Holograms? Maybe they're something that's real. I have no idea. That's something I cannot speak on. Yeah, Deline, yes. Okay. Couple of wild weather happenings beyond the big waves. Supermarket roof collapses during hailstorm in Sao Paulo, Brazil. According to the fire department, 2 women were injured. Hailstorm. And that we've certainly seen plenty of that in 2024. Extreme weather. Floods like you wouldn't believe, hailstorms like you wouldn't believe. Not as much on the drought and fire side this year, even though there were instances of that. More so flooding this year. I'd say it was all about the floods. Flooding in Cartagena, Spain. This is from yesterday, I believe. Brisbane, Australia, getting the flooding as well. Emergency warning has been issued for parts of Brisbane after intense rainfall caused flash flooding across Queensland. All right. William, Happy New Year, William. What's up? Just doom scrolling on the day before the end of the year, the new year, the last day of the year. Some pretty intense flooding there. By the way, I'll do this early. If you want to support the show, if you enjoy this show, you want to see this show continue on and keep on keeping on into 2025, we could always use the support financially to keep on going, just keeping this thing together, barely. So, but if you like the show coming to you for free 99 Monday through Friday, once in a while I drop a couple things on the weekends and extracurriculars and whatnot. If you want to support the show, there are lots of links in the description box. All the usual suspects are there: the Venmos, the PayPals, the Cash Apps, the Zelles, the Buy Me a Coffee, the Ko-Fis, the Patreon, etc., etc., etc. Your dad was on a mission in 1944 with the drone B-17. Oh yeah. Doomscroll, great name for a band. Yeah. Oh yeah, Deline. They're always running a drill for the thing that what about Event 201? Right? Remember when they did a tabletop exercise right before COVID about what would happen if a pandemic hit? Oh my God, look, it's a pandemic. Whoa. Never saw that coming. Denver says the Israelis have been using quadcopters to kill any survivors when they bomb civilian. Oh God. Doctors have testified about this. They themselves were observed by the quadcopter picking off. Monstrous. What do I predict for AI? Other than just the advancement of it, I just see that they're really trying to get people also used to the idea of AI being kind of everywhere. It's, they really are. I meant to find that there's a video of robots that are available. They're talking about these robots as if people already own robots and they already exist and they're everywhere. But they're like, this year's model, it features platinum siding and piping down the sides. Right? They're just talking about it as if it's the new model of car, but it's robots. Maybe I can find this video and play it for you. It's obviously AI is going to continue to encroach. Right now they're scraping all of your data to use to train AI models on, right? So they're just trying to set up for the end run of having our lives kind of monitored and guardrailed by AI and robots and drones. So I don't know if it's going to be this year or the next year, but really, really soon there'll be a moment, a really big mask off moment, which will be like all the drones are going to hover over your particular block wherever you live. You're going to wake up one morning and the drone's going to be saying, you're not leaving unless you have a reason to do so. I suggest you go back in your house. And all of your movements will be monitored, heavily monitored from here on out. You finished listening to Ministry for the Future? I didn't finish reading it. So did you listen to somewhere else? I meant to read the rest of that book. Maybe I will. I don't know. Speaking of Israel, let's watch a 2024 Wrapped of war crimes. Israel's war crimes in Gaza 2024 Wrapped. I don't think there's speaking on this, so I'm going to have to read it for you. With 2024 coming to an end, it's time for a mega thread of all the horrific acts of Israel. Israel forces storm to hospital dressed as civilians and execute people, including a man in a coma. Former CIA Director Mike Pompeo dances with Israelis near the Gaza border, whilst genocide continues in the background. Israeli soldier posted a video of himself shelling innocent horses in a tank. What? Israeli settlers set up tents to camp on the border, crossing all day and all night to prevent humanitarian aid trucks from reaching Gaza. The Super Bowl massacre. Palestinian child shakes in fear as an Israeli soldier attempts to make a propaganda video, trying to convince the public that they are some sort of heroes. For every minute that you don't show me your titties, I will kill another Palestinian child. Jesus.
Kids, like you're proud of that. If you love Palestinians, you'll show me your titties. I'm not showing you shit.
What the hell?
You don't deserve it, you fucking racist.
Israel soldiers dress up as dinosaurs and bomb civilian homes. Nikki Haley writes, "Finish them" on shells that will be used to bomb innocent children and civilians. She's an alien. One of the most heartbreaking images that emerged from the Gaza genocide. Israel intentionally murdered a group of random Palestinian civilians in Gaza. Israeli soldiers posted weird images of themselves dressed up in women's clothing with beheaded children's toys in Gaza. A Jewish old man who survived the Holocaust hugs his grandson who is actively committing a Holocaust in Gaza. Israel has killed one of the most iconic figures in Gaza, Khaled Naban. All right. Sure, that could go on and on. A lot of people are talking about the CIA whistleblower and energy weapons are real. I mean, well, we know that. We know that they are real. They've been real for a long time. CIA whistleblower reveals government gaslighting that Americans should be terrified of. This is from yesterday. So they're trying, I don't know. This is about the Havana syndrome, and this is about directed energy weapons that mess with people. And we know these are, they have like microwave, trucks that can make people feel like their skin's on fire. And like we already have these. We know we have these. So this is not new news. But she's saying that the Havana syndrome thing is real and that they're gaslighting people, telling them, or gaslighting their own agents, telling them that it's fake. But people are suddenly going like, oh, whistleblower directed energy is real. Remember when Maui, they're trying to link it to other things like different kinds of directed energy. But listen, I wouldn't debate that the capabilities aren't there for any of that kind of stuff. I just don't, on any one particular basis, I don't know about that. The CIA whistleblower has said that the Americans should be terrified of alleged government gaslighting of former intelligence employees who believe they have been struck down by Havana syndrome. Medically retired CIA officer spoke with investigative journalist Catherine Herridge about her experience with the debilitating mystery disorder and how the authorities have treated her since. Anyways, syndrome is a disputed medical condition experienced by a cluster of U.S. And Canadian government officials who were based in and around a dozen overseas locations, which started among employees in Havana in 2016. Symptoms include dizziness, cognitive problems, insomnia, and headaches. The most prominent theory is that is caused by pulsed electromagnetic energy and ultrasound emanating from sonic weapons. What about your phone being a sonic weapon? What about your internet devices being a sonic weapon that you can get pulsed? I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you something. I've been turning off my Wi-Fi at night, and in general, like 8 out of 10 nights, I sleep really good when the Wi-Fi is off. Make of that what you will. Thinking of extending that to my phone, but just turning the Wi-Fi off. I turned it off last night. Man, I slept really good. So whether that's intentional or unintentional, whether it's just electromagnetic radiation or interference or whatever, or what if they can mess with you? Like they can get your vitals through Wi-Fi, right? They can get your location through Wi-Fi. Like, couldn't they, go the opposite way and pulse things that make you sick, pulse things that, make you feel uncomfortable? Why not? Why wouldn't they do that? I don't like this guy. This guy is on YouTube all the time talking shit about the government or talking shit about the powers that be. Why don't we pulse this dude with, and anybody who's doing that, pulse this dude with something. Anyways, do not get an iPhone. No, hell no. I'm not getting an iPhone 16. My next phone is going to be a stealth phone. I already have a stealth phone, but I've kind of busted it. I dropped it and the battery won't charge. But my next phone, I'm pretty sure is not going to be an iPhone. I'm going to use this one for a while more, but I'm going to try and go stealth phone. Your phone is a much more powerful signal since it has to reach the cell tower. Yeah. I'm just saying, could they not have the capabilities of such a thing? Anyways, let's read on. Alice told Harridge her injuries are so debilitating that she relies on a service dog. I was serving in Africa and I experienced an anomalous health incident in my home on a Saturday night. I heard a weird noise. It was really a really weird sound that I'll never forget. And after about a second or two, I felt in my feet kind of like reverb from a speaker. Who knows? I mean, this could also be a planted story. We don't know. Alice said she went to the master bedroom to ask her partner whether he could hear the off-putting noise too. I said, "Hey, do you hear that weird noise?" And the first sign that something was off, I should have known, was when he said, "What noise?" Alice went back to where she heard the noise immediately. As soon as I re-entered the space, I heard the noise again. My ears started hurting. I started having vertigo. The room was spinning. My head started pulsing. I mean, or what if it's what if this is not what if they're just being experimented on, which I think is what they're getting to in this. Well, they also have the radar that sees through walls, right, too. Yeah, try turning your Wi-Fi off, Judy. Try do it over the course of a couple nights and see how you feel. I personally feel way better, at least when not sleeping while it's on. My sleep has gotten a lot better. She said she believes several different concealed weapons could be behind the strange symptoms experienced by herself and many of her colleagues, adding that she thinks Moscow is to blame. I don't think Moscow is to blame. I think Arlington, Virginia is to blame. Weirdos. I believe the Russian GRU came to my house late at night and took me off the battlefield. She added. Okay. Asked if her old self died the day she. See, I think this is pretty much propaganda, probably propaganda. Asked if her old self died the day she experienced an AHI. Alice responded a little bit. I was paid for my brain. I was paid for my ability to write well and write for the president. Bonk. Okay, we're going to go bonk. Yeah. Nice story you planted there. I mean, maybe the Russians are doing that, but I feel like we're way better at that kind of stuff. Anyways. Decoding haze sources and formation mechanisms with coal combustion experiments and sulfur isotopes. Say what? Israel is Naziing harder than the Nazis. It might actually make you go, huh? You think about like, anyways, whatever. There's just evil ass people out there in the world. So, and they, they kind of come in all shapes and sizes. Wait, people are evil. I actually had a really great comment on one of my posts on Facebook yesterday. A friend of mine, I put up a post about the Israeli atrocities, and I was just like, who are we? My friend said, like, well, humans, if you look through history, humans are this is pretty par for humans. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't think we can evolve until we actually accept the fact that we're, we have that, which is true. We, like, what's the human, not story, but narrative. The narrative is like, and especially it revolves around like religion and morals, and we're always, like, oh, people are just good. We try to do good things, and people are just good people, all that kind of stuff. We just love each other, and right, this whole like the myth of like the good person and the love your neighbors and sharing is caring and blah goop dap do, but really, actually, we're just fucking psychotic, selfish pieces of shit. Like really, like we have a lot of that too. I'm not saying that everybody's like that. I'm not, this is not I'm broad stroking, but I'm not, don't take anything personally, please. I'm just saying. Yes, there's a lot of good people out there in the world who, try to act like upright citizens, and I think there's a lot of people. I count myself as one of those people, but sure, I have I have like terrible tendencies within me that I have to beat back. I think we all do. And as a species, we're not doing, if you, it's like, yeah, okay, there's, people have good intentions, lots of good people in the world, just hardworking, listen, trying to do the best they can. But, if you look at humans in a broad overview, historically, we do kind of shitty things. And now we're destroying the planet for comfort and fun. So there's that. So what do you, how can you, accepting that on a species level, I think would be understanding that there's probably a lot, like, kind of in the sense that like the socialist reforms of FDR and the socialist movement, in a sense, and you can call it somewhat communist too, but like that is an attempt to beat back the worst in ourselves, the worst in capitalism, or the worst, right? Like tax, greatly constrain the wealthy and the power and the money hoarders and the power hoarders to try and, distribute the wealth and the resources among everyone, somewhat equally. Like, I feel like that's just an attempt to beat back the worst in ourselves. But we could probably go even broader with that, right? But I'm all for reining in human fuckery, because there's a lot of fuckery. The whole, when I always kind of I have an issue with podcasters that are like, "Oh, amazing humans, what's up, amazing? Oh, my loving and amazing." Shut up. Humans are assholes, okay? By and large, humans are fucking greedy, fucking manipulative pieces of shit, okay? Mostly. That's what humans are. Stop it with this. Oh, I love you, amazing. Oh, I love the amazing humans. Just stop it. Stop that pandering ass shit. Mostly people, humans suck, but people try and be better than, we all try and be better than sucky humans. Okay. All right. Thanks. Okay. All right. Sulfate crust. Clown core. Man, I don't even want to know what clown core sounds like. Or maybe I do. Well, let's say regular humans are all good, but the people that run the world and run the show are super evil. Well, you should just assume that. So shouldn't we just assume that anybody who seeks office or seeks power is going to be the most evilly minded psychopathic person, even if they put on the nicest, most Sunday school, love your neighbor face? Like, we just have to assume that anybody who seeks office has to be the most corrupt, demented, evil piece of shit, right? So acting accordingly, right? We would probably bar so many people from actually running for office, right? Like, we should make the bar for running for office like so high, right? Like, you have to have so many credentials, and you have to like really pass like a very stringent civilian review, and like, you can't have any money. You have to give away all your money. Like, we have to make the bar for running for office like so freaking high, higher than anything possible. Like, we should start there, right? But we don't. We're like, who are you? I don't know, just some dude. Okay, cool. Like, start there. Like, we don't, you can run for office and not even have a freaking driver's license. Like, you could be any old body. Whatever. And I digress. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so CIA whistleblower just working hard for the president, getting gamma rayed by Russian intelligence. Oh, here's a fun one. This is actually what happens when a plane hits concrete. If you're wondering what a plane looks like when it hits concrete, it looks like this. Smasho. Lots of debris. And didn't actually make it all that far. The plane kind of broke up into little pieces right at the point of impact. Think about that one. It did not slice cleanly through the concrete. Let's keep going. 2024 was a doozy. It would be fair to say that quite possibly the majority of what your doctor practices is based on legalized fraud. More than half of peer reviewers for 4 top medical journals received payments from drug and medical device manufacturers totaling $1.06 billion from 2020 to 2022, according to an analysis of the Open Payments database. Yeah. The medical industry is not to be trusted. Your doctor is not to be trusted. Doesn't mean you can't go see him. Doesn't mean you can't go get an opinion. But you should think of it only as an opinion. One to weigh with heavy skepticism. The U.S. Treasury says they've been hacked by China. Am I the only one that's calling bullshit here? No, I don't. I think salty goat. I think lots of people don't believe that the Treasury was hit by a China cyber attack. Come on now.
Breaking right now, the U.S. Treasury reportedly saying it was hacked by a Chinese state-sponsored actor. It's being called a, quote, major incident. The AFP reporting that the cyber attack happened earlier this month. Treasury workstations and unclassified documents were reportedly accessed remotely. Breaking right now, the U.S. Treasury reportedly saying it was hacked by...
Well, that's convenient, isn't it? In case anything goes missing. Or maybe they'll, have to come up with some quick... Maybe it'll be China's fault that everything goes south. The economy is suddenly takes a nosedive straight down. This is funny. Tim Dillon portrays himself as the ghost of slain United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in his latest stand-up roast. This is pretty funny.
And look at yourselves dancing in the streets because that guy Tortellini Mozzarella took me by surprise like an unexpected medical bill and shot me in the back. Apparently he had his own back problems. I'm sorry, Luigi, but nobody feels bad for a thin guy with back problems. Claim denied. But if you're happy I'm dead, the joke's on you. Most people think I'm out of the game right now because I'm rotting in hell. Wrong. I'm working remote and harder than ever. Just the opposite. Where do you think the United Healthcare corporate headquarters is? That's right. Down there where the market's always hot. Right next to BlackRock and Ben & Jerry's. The devil is on the board of United Healthcare, and now I've got his ear. And if you think I'm going to hold back, you're dead wrong. I'm taking healthcare to a new level of hell. That's right. The machine keeps rolling. Rolling on, just like your uncle's wheelchair we no longer cover in his plan. Deny, defend, decompose. I'll see you at the retreat, and I'll see you down here very soon, Hawk Tua. Good night, everybody! Tim Dillon, everyone.
All right. Almost done, guys. James Lee at it again. He's uncovering corruption in the homeless funding in California. And he's doing good work here. Good work.
Governor Gavin Newsom just posted that California is crushing it when it comes to homelessness. He says that we're outperforming the nation.
We are crushing it when it comes to homelessness.
Readers added.
Look how many we have.
Well, Gavin Newsom's post is completely misleading. California's homelessness is not declining. It's growing year over year. Since 2019, California has spent about $24 billion on homelessness, but in this 5-year period, homelessness increased by about 30,000 to more than 181,000. So you might be asking, how does something like this happen? Well, I'll tell you, homelessness employs a lot of people. Case in point, the LA Homeless Services Authority carries a payroll of over $62 million. And many of these people get paid a lot of money. I counted 165 quote unquote public administrators who make over 6 figures. And at the top of the list is Valicia Adams Kellum. She is the CEO of LAHSA, and she makes $338,000 a year. And I don't mind people getting paid a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Their salary isn't at all tied to how good of a job they're doing.
Almost 4.
Quote, a new audit finds that a Los Angeles Homeless Services Agency with an $875 million annual budget has routinely paid service providers late, failed to track whether contracts were followed, and in some cases gave taxpayer funds meant for other purposes to providers who weren't supposed to receive the money. And is this because they're bad at their jobs, or is there something else going on? Because check this out. Edward Kellum, he is the husband of Valicia, the head of the LAHSA. He's the director of operations at Upward Bound House. Upward Bound House is a major service provider for the LAHSA. I would say possibly a conflict of interest here given their relationship. Now, to be fair to Adams Kellum, she has told reporters that she has procedures that have walled her off from any involvement in matters concerning her husband's employer. She says, quote, "I am completely recused from matters that involve or impact Upward Bound House." Except, has she? Because according to meeting minutes from October 2024, Upward Bound House was approved for $2.6 million of additional funding. I guess we're meant to just believe that the CEO of the LA Homeless Services Authority has no sway or influence over how the funds are being allocated. Yeah, I don't know if I buy that. Oh, by the way, do you remember this lady who I talked about a couple videos ago who makes $242,000 working for a homeless nonprofit?
Jesus.
Well, she now apparently makes $322,000 working part-time for the LAHSA. I wonder what she's up to.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm not trying to single out these individuals as being the problem.
No,
I believe
single
the
them out,
issue
James. Single them
is
out.
widespread and systemic. So you better believe I will be getting to the bottom of it. Also, I just have to say I'm in a fantastic mood and a decently good driver. Governor.
Good stuff from James Lee. Man, yep. Money laundering. Where's these are the grifters. These are the real grifters. People who are getting jobs in the homeless service provider industry or managing the funds dispersed to the homeless people, the homeless crisis. $300,000 a year, $220,000 a year. Come on, man. Come on. Like that is yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Good work from James Lee. Yeah, you can make a lot of money taking all the money that the state disperses for homeless. $24 billion. $1 billion is a lot of money, and barely give the homeless any kind of right. And there's, where's all the houses at? Where's all the housing at? Where's all the medical services at? No, there are none. All that money was sucked up by people making $300,000 a year and giving it to their husband's service provider outfit. And did they spend all that money on services for the homeless, or did some of that money go missing too? I'm sure there's discrepancies. It's all money laundering, y'all. Okay. That about does it. I'm going to leave you with this little cello, Old Lang Syne. Thanks all for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out with me day after day in 2024. Appreciate you. I don't know if I have any. Not as of yet. All right. That was nice. All right, people. Good to see you today. Thanks for spending some time with me. And I'll see you. I don't know. There's an outside chance I do a show tomorrow, but we're going to leave it up in the air 50-50. I will for sure be back on Thursday at noon at 12 p.m. Pacific. If I, it'll just be a surprise show. If I do a show tomorrow, I'll just pop in and do a show real quick. But like, I'm going to leave tomorrow kind of up in the air because it's New Year's Day. Not much is happening. I might try and chill out a little bit. So y'all enjoy your New Year's Eve. Whatever you're going to do, stay safe, stay warm, and all that kind of good stuff. And I will see you for sure on Thursday, if not tomorrow. Happy New Year's to you, everybody on Rockfin, and on YouTube, and on the Rumbles. And peace and chicken grease, as they say. We out. No, it won't play it. How come it won't play it? Is Rockfin doing the thing again? Where they won't, okay. They won't play my intro.